Good afternoon. I hope all is well. This video is called Ose Tura ? The stuff that I should say downloads, however you want to call it. The things that came to me in the last few days, in the last week or so, I've been, like I say, stuff comes and I give myself a few days to process what's being said. So anyway, I'm doing both Instagram and Facebook. So if you see me moving around, that's why. But anyway, the information that's coming, I had to see how I was going to process this, because I felt that, just by the title of this, it may piss some people off. It may, they may not. Anyway, I'm just going to go straight ahead with it. So, first of all, what they wanted me to address was, we're talking about the irumale, okay? We're dealing with the orisha, but we're dealing with the irumale too. And the irumale, the energy of the irumale is not to be compared to people's emotions or human emotion. And the reason being, or human personality, because when you do that, you kind of minimize their abilities. And irumale, there is nothing that can, there's nothing restricting their energies or their powers or their abilities, nothing at all. So when you use human attributes to, I know the language is a problem, because sometimes we don't have the words to express what they certainly mean. But the irumale, even when we're dealing with orisha, orisha have a lot of attributes, a lot of, I'd say, a lot of things about them, yet we as humans, we look at it like, oh, that person there, they Oshun because they tricky, they shady and stuff like that. Oh yeah, she's Oshun because she just thinks she's so beautiful, or this. Oh, she's got beaucoup children, so she's got to be Yemoja. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. Oh yeah, she's got 9 children, she's got to be that. Anyway, like I say, those energies are much more than what we give them credit. And the more we associate them with our physical attributes, we literally limit their energies. And we know that nature, the forces of nature, is unlimited. So they wanted me to address that. Not only that, and like I say, hate me if you want to. No, I shouldn't say that. Don't like me if you want to, that's fine, I ain't bothered. But the energy of, like they say, Yemoja or Ayaz can't get along, or Yemoja cannot work with Ayaz children, they can't do initiations, because what? Irumale energies don't work that way. Everything in nature works with each other because of that's what it is. And so when you personalize it, I know the stories of the patakis and stuff like that come down, and these are the stories that we utilize to learn different lessons in life. And so, but still, when you minimize the orisha with human attributes like we do, you totally minimize their capabilities and what they are able to do. Remember, we go to them in order to do things that we physically can't do. We go to them to change the dynamics, the manifestations, the constructs that have already been put in place. We go to them in order to change that. You know what I mean? We do offerings, we do eba, we do rin in order for that to happen. So when we minimize them to that capacity, you're welcome, my dear. When we do that with that capacity, we literally limit their ways of being. And so, in regards to the name of this video is called Ose Tura, and with a question mark. So my question mark is, if you have any other thought process about what I'm about to say, then express it. You know what I mean? I'm not above being given any feedback. So with this, you see how Beyonce's come out now and she's doing all this stuff, and Oshun is being spoken of and being addressed. And you have a lot of people in the Orisha community that are up in arms. Yo, and then, oh, not only that, I saw a white lady singing a song. She was singing that song. And then people was up in arms about, yo, can't we have this for ourselves? Can't we do this? Can't we do that? Da, 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 da. Trust me, I understand. I get it. Yeah, think about this. When the irumale, when the Orishas were sent to Earth, to fashion Earth, when we're dealing with the Yoruba pantheon, when we're dealing with the Yoruba deities, they were sent to Earth to manifest and create the Earth, yeah? And when they came, all the men, all the male energies, and one female, who was Oshun. So you already know the story of Ose Tura, where, you know what I mean, they basically let you know that fashion in the world could not be done without the feminine energy. So when you look at the energy of Oshun, Oshun is the law of attraction. Basically, what you think about, you bring about. The energy of the law of attraction, which is that love. Remember, I always talk about my saying initially is, how do we change the vibration of this planet with love? You know, how does that represent? What does that look like? And what is the absence? What is the absence of that love, that divine love? I'm not talking about just the love between two people and in bed and that. We're talking about the divine love. What is the absence of that space? Or what is the effects of the illusion of the absence of that space? And I feel we're living that now. So anyway, when I looked at these expressions of Oshun and, you know, people of different colors or countries expressing their love for the Orisha, my first sentiments was like, okay, the irumale came down to fashion the earth. Not one spot in earth, the earth. Which means if they came to fashion the earth, they came to fashion everybody that's living here. They did this for the world. We understand that Ifa is for the world. So if the Orisha came to fashion this planet for the earth, that means for all of us to live here and respect it, Mother Earth. So did Oshun, being the Orisha that deals with children, childbirth, mothers, did Oshun say, because the people that initially where this initially started, you would say Africa. In the Yoruba pantheon, we're dealing with the Yoruba people, which is in Nigeria. So they're the first people that acknowledged this energy coming down, because it's in all our stories, in our history books, in our history stories. This is where it comes from. So you're meaning to tell me the Oshun that deals with the feminine energy, that deals with children, childbirth, and all of that stuff, she came and said, I'm only dealing with my children in Nigeria. The rest of the children in the world, ain't gonna do it. Does that even make sense? When you see that the Orisha came to fashion the planet, the earth, the whole earth, not just one isolated spot, the earth. Like I said, Ifa is for the world, and the world has got to hear about it. For the longest time, our stories, our ways of life, our traditions have been, have been expressed in ways that make other people fear it. And this is day and time right now that has to change. It's got no choice, it has to change. So when you look at the energy of Ogun, yes, Ogun is the Orisha of iron, the Orisha of war, so to speak. But iron is in the whole planet. Iron is in every living being on this planet. So the expression of Ogun that we know of is in everyone. And they want us to get to understand that. Now, how do we express this worldly so people understand that the divinities that we hold true and dear to us mean everything to the world? How do we do that? We can keep it and say, oh, it's just got to be for us. It can't be, why can't we have everything ourselves? Why do they have to try and infiltrate everything? Infiltration is not even the case. You know, whatever resonates with your spirit. I remember one of the things that Pops used to say, right, in the Nawapian nation, it was like, if a white person can understand where they come from in the order of things, then of course they can come along and do what we're doing. You know what I mean? So it was not particularly about color, even though he came to teach us about who we are as a people to be proud of our heritage, our traditions, our cultures, to be proud of who we are. So we're talking about the Orishas now, or what's her name? Yemoja. Not Yemoja. Beyonce now putting it out there. I only watched part of her thing. I'm going to watch the rest of it today. Kind of caught me sleeping, but it's all good. But I was watching it and I was like, yes, her expression. What she's doing is bringing attention to the energy of Oshun to the world, where when it's been done before, they've demonized it. They've called it many different things, called it witchcraft, called it voodoo. You know what I mean? Like even when they're dealing with the Iyami, they want to call them witches. Why? Because the connotation of witches sounds very negative and sordid. When we're dealing with our mothers, do you call your mother a witch because she has the wisdom of the old, of the ancient? No, don't do that. So when you're dealing with the energy of Oshun, it's you have to understand these divinities are for the world. Just because they came through our energy, is it meant to stay there? And as you see in the planet, it is not. So since it's not meant to stay there, how do we do it? We show the world exactly who these energies are, what they do to the world, and how they change everything. Like I said, Oshun's energy. And I'm not saying that I have complete knowledge of all the Orisha, because I don't. I have my own understanding, and it's getting more and more. The energy of Oshun, like I said, is the law of attraction. You know, she had beauty, wisdom, deals with childbirth, you know, I mean, the sweet things in life. She wants to bring love and love into the world, not just of a man and a woman, but love into the world that we can all partake of. Remember, we're trying to change the vibration of this planet with love. So the energy of that is completely necessary. And the reason why I said the Odu, Ose Tura, which is the 17th Odu in Ifa. And remember I said Ifa is for the world. Ifa is not just for one space, yet it comes through there in order for us to bring it to the world. It is those of our custodians of the culture are the ones to bring it to the world correctly. Are those the ones who, not just to bring it to the world correctly, to represent the energies that are giving you the tools to manifest the things that you want to in the world. So how do we do that? We do that with the love and the sincerity and the humility of who they are and how they manifest in the world. So can I be upset that there's a white woman that wants to talk about Oshun? No. She's talking about our divinity. She's talking about the ones that we hold dear to. She's talking about the ones that, you know, that we love so dearly. Do all people understand that energy? No. So what is it? It's time that we teach them the best way. It's time that we represent them the best way. It's the time that we bring that energy to the masses of the world the best way, to show you, look, this is how you change the vibration of the planet. With the divinities that we have, they hold these types of energies, which has certain types of ways to manifest. We talk about the energy of nurturing, of Yemoja, who's a nurturer. She has so many children that they're like fishes, which is how the world is. You can't keep living in a box and expecting things to change. It doesn't work that way. So we're in a space of time, because of all the problems that we've been having worldwide, and the majority, I could talk about the majority and the minority. We are the majority. Those people in those high places are doing all the sex trafficking, all the pedophilia, and all the pharmaceutical systems. They are the minority, but they have been able to keep us in a space of fear and low-level vibrations for so long that we've forgotten who we are. And the Orisha, the divinities, the irumale saying it's no more. It is time for the world to know who we are, and how we represent the world. The energy of the Orisha didn't come down to fashion the earth in just one specific place. It was the earth. And all of those that came down, Ogun, Shango, Obatala, Oromala, all of those energies, plus Oshun, came to do something. But what did those male deities realize? They couldn't complete their job without Oshun. This is the energy. See, I'm tingling now. They got me tingling. Oh, shoot. This is the energy of Oshun. This is the energy right now that the divine feminine, the energy of the sacred feminine, is necessary in truth to bring about the changes that we need in this world. In truth, in regards to understanding and knowing what that energy means, what that energy brings to the world for them to understand. And I'm talking about in layman's terms. Because we can talk about our traditions, we can talk about our language. Not everybody understands that. You know what I mean? I'm not a great, when it comes to language, I'm not brilliant in that. I ain't even gonna lie. My voice is my voice, and I'm okay with that. I'm not gonna pretend to do what I cannot. Yet, if we don't start to see the grand picture of what this earth represents and what we came to do, we're going to miss out, and we're going to keep fighting amongst each other. We're going to keep fighting about whose system is correct and whose system is not correct, and how you're doing it this way and how you're not doing it that way, and just keep pointing the fingers, and we're going to get nowhere. Like I said, if we keep that vibration low, we are feeding into the system that they have created, which is a very low negative system. And oh gosh, I forgot about this. See, in school having to wear these I can't breathe. These, oh my God, I can't breathe. But anyway, you know, we've come to make a change. And the energy of the Orisha and the irumale, the ancestors, have come to make sure we understand it correctly. Like I keep saying, we have one thing in common, everybody on this planet. We all have ancestors. And we're all able to go to them and ask for guidance and support and whatnot. Then we have those that are initiated to the higher wisdoms, higher knowledge, higher ways of life, higher tradition. I'm not going to say Ifa and the Orisha is a religion, because it's not. To me, this is me now, to me it is a way of life, and a way of life that you observe and acknowledge and respect the nature that we come from. So to minimize, like I said, we can't keep minimizing the irumale with physical attributes that minimizes their capacity to do what they do. We're limited because, you know, we're flesh and blood, but we are not limited when we understand that the irumale give us the information we need to give to the world. How we represent ourselves is how the world is going to see us. If we see all these people that are scamming people, and that's all that people know, that's what they're going to expect. But when you have Orisha priests that are actually doing the work, doing the jobs that they came here to do, being custodians of the culture, they're going to see the energy is for everybody. Like I said, the irumale didn't come down into one spot and say, okay, we're only dealing with these people here. That's it. No. Even though, and I'm a black woman, so I understand. I'm Nigerian. I understand that the energy of the Orisha manifests in the people that continue to spread it, started to spread it, and continued is that way of life, their traditions. I understand that. Yet the energy of those, the wisdom of those, is for the world. Like they came to fashion the world. So that's why I say Ose Tura is the Odu that now is presently being manifested in this world, to my understanding, that the energy of the divine feminine has been subjected to so much lesser energy than deserving, and it's now time to put that correct. So the energy of Oshun that he's been missing, now to bring that love, to bring that loving nurturing to the children, because there's too many children are being abused, being attacked, all of that kind of stuff. All of that stuff has to be shifted. That energy has to be shifted. So how do we do it? We have to teach the world about, when we know our ways work, and like I keep saying, if Ifa is for the world, then we have to teach the world our ways, for them to understand it from our perspective, not from from back in the day, that the stories that have been told the way that they've been telling them, because they feared if they express themselves the way they see it works, oh, they're a force to be reckoned with. Oh, they could take over the planet. Oh, they could take over the world. Their wisdom is entirely too great. So we've got to make it look like this is demonic. We've got to make it look like it's what you call it. It's witchcraft. It's voodoo. It's all they're doing is just trying to hate on people. They're sucking blood and this. That's the energy they put out there. That's why you see it in all the movies. That's why you see it the way it is. But it's time for that to change. As I said, Ose Tura, in order to bring the balance back in the world, we have to honor the sacred feminine as is, and not how they want us to acknowledge it. And this goes everywhere in the world, you know what I mean? And so until we do that in a way that is understood by all, we're gonna keep having these fights in different spots. I keep asking, how do we change the vibration of the planet with love? How do we do that? How do we change the frequency of the planet with love? How do we do that? We do that by honoring the love in ourselves and loving self first, to make that energy be so full up in you in order to bring that to the world. Things have to change. It cannot continue to be a black and white thing, or a male and female thing, or a this and that thing. It has to be about love. Once we have the vibration of the planet in love, the systems that have all been messed up, that's kept us all stagnant and kept us all messed up, has to fall away. It is in our hands to do something. I said this before, it's in our hands to change what's happening in this world. And the only way we're going to change it is if we change the vibration of the planet with love. You know what I mean? That is the only way. So when I say that Ose Tura is a necessity, like that energy is come back up to be very present and very demanding right now, for us to understand that it's missing. The nurturing, the love, the support that mothers give, the wisdom that mothers give, just from, there's many women here that didn't get any kind of training when they was about to have a baby. They went through things by themselves. But you know what? Your innate understanding of knowing of that divine feminine that runs through us all allows you to do the things that you would do to bring about the nurturing and the comfort and the wisdom that you bring to your children. And like I said, that energy is missing in this world. You can say whatever you want about Beyonce, you know what I mean? She's a great entertainer. I'm not looking at all the crazy stuff that you talk about with the demonic stuff. Whatever that is, if that is what it is, whatever it is. Yet for her to bring attention to one of the African deities that we hold dear to our heart, that we love, we hold so high, that we have festivals for her, that cool people come and worship her, want to take her waters, want to cleanse themselves of their waters, want to bring childbirthing, so they go to Oshun and ask to be given the ability to bear children. It is the time for that energy to manifest itself properly. You know what I mean? When Beyonce did what she did, she brought awareness to it. I'm in a class with a new teacher, and she said to me, "Oh, Oshun, I didn't know who that was, but I looked it up, and she said she's a river deity. Oh no, she called it a river goddess. That's what she called it, a river goddess." So I gave her a little explanation of what Oshun's energy, and she goes, "Oh well, just by watching Beyonce, she had me look into that," and that's the awareness. What she's doing is bringing it to the awareness on a large scale. Now, the priests of this tradition, our beautiful way of life, have to show that in the works, in the way we speak, the way we handle it, the way we deal with each other. This is how you're going to show that, our divinities, our true deities, our gods are the same ones that fashion this earth, and the same ones that have the ability to shift the planet the way we want it. They are giving their energy, they're giving their wisdom to us in order for us to do what we need to do. So, like I said, if we don't bring order back the way it is in this divine energy of love, we're going to continue to have the problems. And part of that is acknowledge the divine feminine for the divine sacred feminine for exactly who she is. The lies that have been talked about the Yami for eons. I read something the other day, and this was so profound. It was talking about what was it talking about? And I can't remember. And I'm sorry, but if I could find the post, what it was talking about, it was dealing with the Yami. I said to you before about divine love has the wisdom to deal with anything, has the information and wisdom to create and change anything that's going on the planet. So when you understand that capacity, you understand that divine love also will have some kick-ass energy in it. If it means it has to chop some people down in order to bring order, so be it. That's just the way it is. So if you acknowledge that, where was I going with that? If you acknowledge that that space, that divine love has that within it. The Iyami, that was it, the post that I saw. The Iyami, people think that the Iyami are evil, or the Iyami are this, or the Iyami are that. Yet, if they come to do something in your world, this is what I read, and I thought this was very profound. If they come to do something in your world, it's basically saying you're not on your journey. So I'm gonna make you so uncomfortable till you rectify that and get back on your journey. So when you look at it like that, are the Iyami really evil? If you're doing things just for the sake of it, man, and I'm not pointing the fingers or like that, but just say you're doing some stuff against women, and then all of a sudden you're getting upside your head. You go for divination, and they say, yo, you got to give an offering to the Iyami because they're not happy with you. They're not happy with what you're doing. They're not happy with how you're behaving. You got to give offering. You know what I mean? They're trying to put you right. They're trying to put you in balance with the sacred order of the divine love. So even when you think of good and evil, how would you know evil existed if good didn't? And then when you look at the universe, everything exists within the universe. So there is some order to everything that's going on. However it looks, we just may not have the understanding of how they do what they do, but it exists. So again, I say this thing's called, this video is Ose Tura with a question mark, because I know that, that story and that energy has so much more wisdom to be given from there. But the fact of the matter is, the be all and end all of it, this earth, I'm not just saying Africa, this earth was fashioned by these beings that came down, and amidst those beings was male energies and one female energy of Oshun. And it was stated that they could not complete their mission without the feminine energy. It was impossible. They had to beg, to ask for basically forgiveness in order for her to work with them. So we're in a day and time now which you can see the energy of love is very much missing. And like I said, if Oshun is the energy of the law of attraction, of manifestation, of loving, bringing the sweetness into this life, we have to understand her from that energy, from that aspect, in order for the world to understand and to receive, and to not only just receive it and to live it. Just because you don't understand, like when they talk about Buddha, or just Buddha, meditation and all that lot, doesn't mean you disregard that aspect because you're not a Buddhist or something like that, but you understand the energy that it carries. Now we're talking about the irumale, we're talking about the energy of Oshun, we're talking about the energy of all the Orisha. They come with specific things that is important to the whole of the world, not just one aspect of it. And as long as we keep chopping it up the way we've been chopping it up, we miss the whole picture. We miss the blessing. We miss the unlimitless. Is that the word? We miss the limitless abilities that they have to change everything that needs to be changed the way it needs to be changed. So, like I said, if you have any other expressions of what I'm saying that you think that if you oppose me, like I said, I know it's gonna piss some people off. I don't care. To be quite honest, I don't care. You know what I mean? Oh, yep. What's her name? Beyonce. She's put it out there for people to start talking about it. And like I said, it was prime example of one. And she was a black woman. She said to me she'd not heard of Oshun before, and she looked her up and she saw that she was a river goddess. That's what her expression was told when she read up about Oshun. So now you see that energy. The world needs to know who Oshun is and what she represents and how she is here to assist and change the vibration of this planet with love. You understand? We got to get past the limitations that humans have, because when we put all those limitations in our ways of life, we limit the capacity to ascend the problems that we're having. So, like I said, you take it for what it's worth. But you looking at people for worshipping, giving honor and praise to the divinities that we do, that we hold dear to who we are. And I'll keep going back to it. I heard this many times. Ifa is for the world. Ifa is for the world. If Ifa is for the world, then we have to represent that energy, since we are custodians of this culture, to the world. The world needs to know who we are from our perspective, not from somebody else bringing their story to them. From our perspective, and the way we do our works, the way we speak, the way we express ourselves with the wisdom and the knowledge of the divinities. And so until that continues to happen, we're going to continue to keep fighting with stupid fights. You know what I mean? It's not necessary. Beyonce does what she does. You know what I mean? She has the platform to do what she does and express herself the way she is. I thought what I watched, because it was Africa and all the African artists that she used, I thought it was quite brilliant. Her expression of how she did, for the Lion King and whatnot. I thought it was quite brilliant. Yet, people always have something negative to say. We've got so many movies out there that don't show us, and even if they do, they've got an element where they've been saved by someone else. But when we have somebody of our own way, of our own color, expressing the beauty of our country, the beauty of our world, then we've got something to complain about. It's like damned if we do, damned if we don't. I'm tired of it. You know what I mean? I'm not saying I like every Beyonce song, but that energy that she's bringing out for Oshun is making people aware of it. So now what do? Let's show the world who we are. Let's show the world that we have the ability and the capabilities to change the vibration of this planet with how we conduct ourselves and how we allow the Orisha to work through us, and allow the plethora of knowledge of the irumale to come and change what's going on in here. Let's show it. Let's show it the way it's meant to be shown, not in pieces. We don't just keep it over here. It's not the way of the world. That's not what they came here for. And like I said, if Ogun's energy is in iron, the earth cannot do nothing without iron. The iron is within our bodies. You know what I mean? The water did. It's the change of what she brings. There's so many elements. Obatala that fashions the human body, or mind, or ori, or connecting to our ori. There's so many elements that we need to show the world. What we know with Obatala, children that have disabilities, they will say, or albino children, they're Obatala's children. Does the world even understand what that means? And how we work that? Even when the Obanji, or whatever it's called, that concept, the Igbo concept of Abiku children, or children that die early, the concept that it had gives you an understanding, a clearer understanding of what Egbe is and what Egbe is for the world. It's not just one spot, but because we sit with blinkers on, we don't even allow that energy to do what it's supposed to do, which is penetrate the world in order for the world to understand the divinities know a lot more than what we do. And so with it being limited, the way we express ourselves, the way we limit them, we need to stop. We need to bring it more in a way to teach the world what we're about and who we are, from the aspect of, these divinities came to this spot. The divinities manifested their wisdom in Africa, so they look like us. We're not going to escape that fact. So if that's a fact, then the world needs to know from our mouths to their ears and to their lives to see how it is expressed. And so, as I say again, I'll go back. Ose Tura is the energy that's showing you that the divine feminine, the sacred feminine, its energy is missing from what we're doing, how we're living, and how we are expressing ourselves. And that energy has to be raised up in truth, because Oshun is all the Orish is about truth, you know, and love and sincerity, no matter what aspect you're dealing with. It's about truth and honesty and love. So if we're going to change the vibration of this planet with love, we have to do it correctly and honor the divine sacred mother, the divine sacred feminine. There's no other way around it. So that was my story for today about Ose Tura. Like I said, if you have any other information about that energy of Ose Tura and what is coming to do to the world, because I feel from what they gave me the other day, and like I said, it's given me a couple of days in order for me to process this information. This is the energy that we're living in, that because of the sacred feminine has been misplaced or misused, misabused, all the children's stuff. That is where we're at, and in order to put that right, we have to honor that space again. And that's not just talking about the men honoring the women. We're talking about the women honoring the women, the women honoring each other, and not backbiting and stabbing and all of that stuff against each other, because that's another way you are minimizing or neglecting the feminine energies, when you neglect yourself. So when I go again, I talk about divine love and that love that we have within us. Like I say to you all the time, I love you. I love me too, and that is fact. I'm not going to pretend that. Yes, there are people. I love everybody. There are people that have unsavory issues about themselves or toxic about themselves, and I wish you well on your path, just not right next to me, and I'm good with that. You know what I mean? And everybody else should be. You know what I mean? The choices that we make, we can't control anybody. All we could do is control ourselves. And when we get to understand that fact there, we'd be a lot easier. We'd be a lot calmer. Things will be a lot smoother. And there will be a lot less misunderstandings. Because when I can't control what you're doing over there, you can say what you want about me. But I can't control your mouth. But I can control how I respond to that. And if I acknowledge the fact you have a choice to say what you want, more power to you. Now, how I conduct myself, if I conduct myself the way that you're speaking about me, then you've got every right to look at me and say, yeah, she's right about what she said about that. But if my character and the way that I present myself does not represent anything that you're speaking about, why have I got to concern myself with it? I don't. So like I said, this is the same way of our traditions, the orishas that we love, the energy that we walk with every day. Like I said, this is the energy that we got to show the world, and they got to show the world who we are with so much love that it changes it. We have all the wisdom in Ifa with the orishas that can change everything that happens on this planet if we utilize it correctly. If we utilize it for what it's made for what it was here for. It is an oracle to say that any problems that you have in this lifetime, even dealing with the ancestors on the other side, we can get messages through Ifa from our traditions, our oracles. We can get messages from the other side, giving us direction of what to do here. To show, and that's why now the ancestors are talking and saying that we've got to do better. We've got to do more. We've got to come together. We are the majority. The majority has to come together with love and to change the way we're living, because it's not going to get any better until we do something about it. And we can't wait on others to continue to do something about it. Everything that's taken place is in order, is in divine order. Now, what we do, how we manifest, what are our intentions for the change in this world, is what we got to think about and bring about. Like I said last time, what you think about, you bring about. Where your attention is, that's where the energy goes. And if we want a better life, we got to visualize that now with love to make that manifest. We have to do it. You know what I mean? It's not left to anybody else. So like I said, again, I'll go back to Ose Tura with a question mark, because, and the only question mark is if, like I said, I don't know everything about that Odu, and but I just know and love that story. So if there is anyone else that has any more to add to that, then please do so. But that's what I came to tell you. Do not limit the energies of the irumale by giving them human attributes or human emotions that limits their capacity to do what they do. Nature is not limited. Nature has order to it. Nature knows what it does. You know what I mean? And those divinities have a wisdom that is beyond our capacity. But don't, she's sneaky. She gotta be Oshun. That's very limiting. It's very, very limiting. No, she's sneaky because she's sneaky. How about that? You know what I mean? And you find sneakiness in anybody. It ain't got nothing to do with whether they are Oshun, whether they Shango, whether they are Batala, whether they Yemoja, whether they are Oshun, whether they Ogun, you name it, or Chelsea, you name it. You find sneaky people, you find toxicity in everything, in everybody. So let's not get it twisted. And like I said, for you to feel that certain orishas don't work together when they're not limited by our ways of thinking and being, we limit them again. So, you know what I mean? And this deals with any tradition, the way you want to look at it, whether you're talking about Isheshe of Africa, Lukumi, Kandoble, blah, 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 blah. Stop limiting their capacities with your limited human ways. We can't do that. So anyway, there's many people that are here that are being utilized by the divinities to bring out this information and keep it moving. So this is what we got to do. Okay, we got to change it. So I'm gonna leave it there. I thought that was a shocker. I'm telling you, they shock me all the time because, you know, when I come with one topic, I'll be like, they ain't gonna top that. And then they come with another, and I'm like, yo, you want me to talk about that? Oshun, the world. Like I said, people don't want to accept that fact, but if they know the root of this whole tradition, you'll know they came to complete the world, not one spot in the world. The world, that means everybody that lives on this world partook of or benefited from their wisdom, even though they came out of Africa. So anyway, I'm gonna leave it there. I love you. I love me too. And I wish you all a good evening. Take care. Let's see how I can do this. Okay, take care.